This is the SAU Report, a program featuring interviews with the faculty, staff, students, and alumni of Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.
Welcome to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm Mistie Holley.
And I'm Charles Bostick. Today our guest is Carra Osborne, a senior biology major. She is also the drum major for the SAU band. Now Carra, how did you get the job as drum major for the SAU band?
Well, last marching season, one of the drum majors at the time asked me if I wanted to audition, and I told him no at first, but he kept bothering me about it. So I auditioned, and I got it, and I was really happy that I got it. So.
Do you have a lot of past history in the band?
Yeah, throughout high school, I was always in the band, like since 4th grade, and so I've always been very active in the band.
Now, did your high school have a football team per se?
No, we didn't have a football team. We had a basketball team that we would play at. My band consisted of like maybe 22 people. It was very, very small, so we would just play at basketball games and stuff.
Right. So it's a major transition compared to your high school from SAU.
Yes, it was.
Right.
It was.
So now you were telling us earlier you do live in a very, very small town.
Yes,
Where are you from?
Caddo Gap, Arkansas. It's really, really small. I think there's maybe 100 people at the most. So coming to SAU, it was big for me, even though it is a very small town. It was big for me, but it was.
Well, you said that you'd been in band for quite some time. Did you held the role of drum major in high school?
Yeah,
right?
my senior year. And like I said, we didn't have a football team or anything like that, so I would just direct at the basketball games and stuff. It was fun.
Is it a lot different doing it then as it is doing it now?
Yes, it's a big crowd here, so yes, it's a lot different, but it's really fun.
Right. What is the band show made up of this year? This
year we're doing music from the Gladiator. It includes Overture from Ben-Hur, the Gladiator finale, and Barbarian Horde. It's a very exciting show. It's really an awesome show.
Now, I was told, and I've heard it. I'm not much into the football very much, but I did go and I heard y'all got a new pre-show, right?
Yes, we do. That includes tunes like America the Beautiful, the Alma Mater, the SAU Fight song, and we also line up for the football team to run out. So that's really cool too. We try not to get run over when that happens. So.
Yeah. Now, do you think the crowd is really reacting to the pre-show?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they respond really well. I like the fact that we play the banner on the field. I think that's really nice too.
Okay, now something else is, I don't know much about the band, but I did, like I said, I saw y'all play at the game, and I noticed there are 2 girls, 2 drum majors, and then there's also the director. Why is that?
Well, basically we have 2 drum majors because it's hard for some people. They might be in certain positions and they can't really see a drum major, so there's 2 of us, and one of us will be on the field or on the sideline, so maybe they can see us easier, and it helps with the tempo. It keeps the music,
Because if a band member can't see a drum major, then they probably don't know what's going on.
That's right. They might be out of step, not playing right. Yeah,
Right.
So that's why we have 2 drum majors.
Right.
Well, what's the major role of the drum major?
Basically what we do is we get up there and we conduct the band, and that helps with the tempo. It's a very responsible position. Basically you're one of the leaders of the band, and it's a really responsible, hard job, but at the same time it's really, really fun.
All right. We may have viewers interested in maybe trying out for the band. What should these viewers do?
I would suggest that they talk to J.P. Wilson. He's the director of bands here at SAU. He can hook you up with maybe an audition, a tour of the campus, maybe a scholarship application. So I would definitely talk to him if anyone's interested.
Right.
Now, when you say auditioning, what exactly does that consist of?
It consists of maybe like incoming freshmen would play certain region music that they've played before, any kind of solos, anything like that, anything kind of challenging. That's what it would consist of.
Now, there may be viewers who actually think in order to get a band scholarship, you have to major in music. Is this the case?
No, and in fact, most people in the band are non-music majors.
Right.
There's only, maybe 15 or 20 that are actually music majors, and maybe not even that. So
are you? You're
no,
not a music major?
No, I'm not a music major.
Are you a minor?
No. no, I'm not anything.
So this is just an extracurricular activity for you.
Basically, yeah.
Would you recommend it to
Oh,
many students?
yes.
I mean, you know.
Yes, definitely. It's really fun. Even to be a music major, I've talked to other music majors, and they really like what they're doing too. And the band it's really fun. It's a really good time, and it's a lot of hard work, but it is fun at the same time. You'll
Right.
get a lot out of it. So.
Now, we know that your major is biology. Now, how did you come up with this major of biology?
Well, ever since I can remember, I've loved animals, and I want to work with animals. That's what I want to do. And this field, I think, would help me, you know, get a career as far as working with animals and stuff. So.
Now, we were talking earlier, and okay, I'm not an animal person, but apparently you've had some pretty strange creatures in your home.
Yes, yes, I have.
Tell us about that.
I've been involved with cougars, bobcats, like lynxes. I've had possums. I've had skunks. I've had beavers, hawks. Anything you can think of, I've probably had, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, I mean, do you just let them like roam in your house, or did that cages, you know, outside?
Well, okay, the hawk, we had a cage for that one, of course. We couldn't let it fly all over the place, but most of the time they would just run around the house and the yard.
Like a dog.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a lot of fun.
So is it hard, you know, I bet you become attached to these animals. Is it really hard to send them back into the wild?
It is. It is. It's really hard not to become attached to them, but I really enjoy it. So, and they deserve to be out in the wild anyway if they're wild animals. So if they're not too hurt to not be released out into the wild, then we'll keep them. But otherwise, we let them
Well,
go.
is that why you take them in? Is because something's hurt or, you know, stranded or something like that? That's why you'll take them in? Is that what you'd like to do as a career?
Yes, definitely. That would be a fun career to have, is just take care of animals. And people giggle because I kind of would love to have the job like the crocodile hunter. I would love to have that job. Maybe not have my own TV show, but have that type of job. I think that would
So would it still be
a lot of
crocodiles, or
fun.
would it be some other animal?
Anything, I think. I would love to just take care of anything.
Just
It
any
doesn't have
animal.
to be crocodiles. It can be anything.
Well, does that lead into like a veterinary job or?
Possibly. Maybe not full-blown veterinarian, but something in that field I would
Right.
like. Maybe work in a zoo, something like that, so I could take care of animals.
Something
work
with
animals.
more
Yeah.
unordinary
SeaWorld.
pets and animals.
Yeah.
SeaWorld, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. So.
Okay.
What are some of your other hobbies?
Well, I like to draw. I like sports such as basketball, baseball. I really enjoy those things too. So.
Well, did you ever do like organized sports?
In high school, I was on the basketball team and the track team. So, and that was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun.
Well, you said you were from a small school, but you were telling us earlier that, you know, apparently y'all were very good track runners.
Yeah. I think it was in '96, a long time ago when I was in high school. But our relay team scored 5th in the state for, I think, the 800-meter relay. And me and my sister, we did the sprints, and we were pretty good in the sprints. I don't know how good I would be now because, you know, I've gotten a little older and stuff like that, but I think I might could run a little bit. I don't know if I could be that fast anymore.
I imagine it felt pretty good to go into competition against bigger schools and be able to win.
It did. A lot of times I was in a B school.
Right.
And me and my sister would go to the A and the AA track meets just to run. And that was a lot of fun because we were like the only two that was representing a B school, you know, because we were so small.
Well, so was there competition
Yes, there was competition.
between you and your sister?
Yeah. So like I have a twin sister, and like one time she'd win a race, and then the next time I would, and then it was like we would take turns almost. You know, there was a lot of competition as far as that.
Do
went.
people mistake you for your sister?
Yes.
They do?
Yes, well, not all the time now, because she lives in Little Rock, so we don't see each other as much as we want to. But yeah, people mistake us a lot. So.
All right, who would you consider your role model?
I guess I would have two: Mr. Wilson, the director of bands, and Dr. Robinson, the professor in the biology department. I think that they would have to be my role models. So.
Why is that? I mean,
Because they really know how to teach. You know, they can encourage students. make them confident, support them, respect them, and I respect them for that too. I mean, they're really all around really nice people.
Is that something you like about this campus? I know I have many teachers that I can call, and if I have a problem, I can call and talk to them about it and things like that. I mean, is that one reason you chose this college?
Yeah, the people are really nice here. They're really helpful, respectful, and it's a small campus too, and I really like that fact too. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I chose this school.
Are you involved in any other campus activities other than drum major?
Yes, I'm involved in Tau Beta Sigma, and that's a service organization for the band, and that's a lot of fun too.
Well, what do they do in Tau Beta Sigma?
We have various fundraisers for the band. We do such things as like game day wake-up calls, because we'll have practice in the morning and we want to make sure everybody's there. We just support the band, try to make it better, stronger, that's what we do.
Right. Well, I noticed there are Greek letters, Tau Beta Sigma. Is it sort of like a social sorority?
It's a sorority, but it's not a social sorority. It's more or less a service organization for the band. So.
All right. What would you say has been your toughest class thus far?
I would have to say embryology. That's a really tough class.
Okay, I'm going to play the dumb one here. What is it?
Basically, it's the study of like embryos, reproduction, all that kind of stuff. And the lab would have to be the toughest part because it's 2 days a week, 3 to 5, lots of stuff crammed in there, and it'll give you a headache. But
I bet.
Yeah, I passed, so I don't have to take it again. So.
I remember taking biology and all the science classes I've had. I just couldn't stand the lab. I just didn't like going there.
Labs are tough, and it's tough when it's 1 day a week, but when it's twice a week, it's
Now, there's a lot of science involved.
Yes.
With your major.
Yes.
Okay.
She must like science a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's really interesting to me. So.
Well, now that we're talking about the campus and the life, I know that you're a senior and you're probably almost out of here. Is it really different for you? Is it going to be hard for you to leave and try and go out into the world, or have they really prepared you well?
Yeah, they've prepared me, and I think for the most part I'm ready to get out there and start a career. But yeah, it's going to be tough. The band, they're like a big family to me, and it's going to be a tough adjustment. But I think that I'm prepared for it.
I bet you'll get used to the idea.
I think I will.
What made you decide to come to SAU as compared to another university?
Well, like I said, I think the campus is very small, and it's really pretty here, and the people are really nice, and I think that's what helped me make my decision, and it's cheaper, one of the cheaper schools in the state too, so that also helped me make my decision too.
Well, have you been here all 4 years?
Yeah, 5.
Well, I was just assuming you've been here at SAU this whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you lived on campus. Are you still on campus?
No, I'm off campus now.
How's that transition?
I like it. I actually, I think that I like being off campus more than on campus. I mean, there are its disadvantages to being off campus.
Right.
You have to pay your own bills, buy your own food, stuff like that. But for the most part, I like it better.
Well, but when an incoming freshman, say an incoming girl, come up to you, would you recommend the dorms?
For the first year, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that helps you make the adjustment from, always being with your parents and not being on your own to maybe being on your own a little bit. I think that helps.
Right.
Well, that also leads to my next one. There's a big deal going on right now. How do you feel, you have to be 21 or over 60 hours to live off campus? Do you agree with that?
No, not really. I think that, I know I tried to live off campus my second year, and the school didn't really like that, but I went ahead and did it. I think that for some students, they really want to live off campus, and that would be a better thing for them. It's just the way they would function better. So.
Right. What would you tell high school students the major difference in high school and college is?
I think the main thing behind that is high school students, you have to be there. You have to be in school, you know. And college, you're here because you want to be. You pay to go to class, you pay to be here, and I think that's the main reason. It's more of a mature, dedicated environment than high school necessarily.
Right.
Well, that's something else they're fighting about. When you're in high school, elementary, you have to be in class. It's law. Well, how do you feel about the rules at SAU, like the attendance policy? Do you feel it's right that an advisor, a professor can kick you out of their class if you miss more than...
Yeah, I think so, because basically you paid for that class. And if you decide you don't want to go, well then that's your fault. You know, the professor can kick you out
Right.
if he wants to. I think that's right. It's your own fault if you don't go to class, I think.
Now, would you say that smaller universities have an advantage over bigger universities?
I think so. I think the student-teacher relationship is better in a small school. I think you can learn more, and people know your name more. You're not necessarily a number. I mean,
Right.
I think I think it helps out a lot.
But you know, I think it depends on the student.
Yeah.
I think it, you know, I come from a small town, and I don't know, I think I'd probably be lost being at a bigger school, you know,
Right.
especially when I first start out. But I think, you know, little by little, moving to a bigger school would be okay. But I think something like that would just have to be personal choice.
Yeah.
I don't want to say one's better than the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if money was not a priority, would you still have attended SAU?
Yes, I would have. I really like it here, and I think that I would have just went ahead and decided to come here anyway.
Right.
Would you think Magnolia's a good college town?
I think it's a good college town, but I think it could be better. I think that there could be a lot more offered, you know, here. If there was more money in the county, in the town, I think we could put more in here, and then it would be a better college
Right.
town.
Right. Well, we know the Cameo closed. They're talking about the rider rink, you know, wondering where, you know, how it's going to go the next year or so. How would you know, there's a lot of debate on maybe Columbia County becoming a wet county or moving in some kind of club or something like that here. Would you agree with something like that?
Actually, yes. I think if we made Columbia County a wet county, it would help. It would help with business, it would bring in money, and it would also be safer for the students
Right.
because now if students go to the bar, they have to drive back, and that's a long way, and it's dangerous, especially if you've had alcohol.
Well, most of them
You
have been
know.
drinking before they even got down there.
Exactly. And if they have a wet county here, you can drink here, it's closer, it's not so dangerous. You know,
Right.
I think it would help out a lot if we did make it a wet county.
Well, I think it would let the town grow.
Yeah.
It'd bring in a lot of revenue
would.
for the county
and
itself.
big businesses, and those would be good sponsors for SAU, and it would bring money to SAU too, I think. So.
Well, maybe the people that run the town don't want the town to grow, so that's the reason behind it,
Maybe.
possibly. All right, if you were in charge of the current construction on campus, what would you like to see done towards improvement?
I would like to see more parking and more lighting on campus. That's what I
Why
would
more
like.
lighting?
I think it makes people feel more secure walking alone at night. If there's lights, you know, it's safer,
Right.
and they would feel more secure with that. I think that would help out a lot.
Would you agree with all the new buildings that they're talking about putting here on campus?
Yeah, I think that that helps out a lot, and it might bring more activity, more students to SAU. So
Right.
yeah, I agree with that.
There are many campuses that have things like maybe McDonald's on campus or Pizza Hut. Or, you think that would be a good idea for the
Yes,
campus?
definitely. I think so.
Right,
I really think
because
that would be
every
good.
time you turn around, what does SAU want? They want money. So if they do something like that, maybe that would help
It
bring in
might.
more money.
It might.
So maybe they should do something like that. All right, if you could change anything you did upon entering SAU, what would you change?
I would have picked my major sooner because I got my basics out of the way. And for some students, that works out great. For me, it didn't necessarily. It made me stay here for a few more years, more than I wanted to. But I would definitely do that. But it depends on the student. You know, some students can do that, and some know what they want as soon as they come into SAU or
Right.
any college for that matter, and that works out for them.
Did you really research this college? You know, like I've spoken to several freshmen that'll be coming in next year, and some of them say, well, you know, my parents want me to go here. You know, did you really research before you came here?
Yeah, I studied up on it. I looked at several universities. I looked at Arkansas Tech, Harding, Henderson here, and I went to a lot of those schools, and I looked at the campus, and I did my research, and
Right.
I really liked it here. You know, I didn't want to make a big decision like that without studying up on it, researching
Well,
it.
what would you recommend for new students coming in, advice-wise?
Definitely explore your options. You know, if you have several schools that you're interested in, go to those schools. You know, take a tour of the campus. If you're interested in a certain major, go look into that department
Right.
and see how the people act. And you know, then base your decision on the experiences that you've had from those other schools. That's what I would say.
Now, there are some students who they don't know what they want to major in. They come here, they don't know what they're doing. You think it's a smart idea to maybe sprinkle a few different majors into your basics and maybe
yes, I think
decide from that?
Yeah, I think that's really smart because if you're interested in several different things and you take a class in a course in one of those fields, then that might help you, push yourself one way or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still this is just my second year here at SAU, and I remember the first thing they told us was, yes, it's a good thing if you know what you want to do, but sometimes you'll get into that field and you won't like it. But they're afraid to change their major. It's like, well, I've already invested into this. I mean, I'm one of these. I think it could go either way. If you don't like it, you need to get into something you're going to enjoy.
Yes, I think in the long run, you need to think about what's going to make you happy, as a career. And not necessarily, for me, I'm not in it necessarily for how much money I make. I just want to do something that I'm going to be happy with.
Right.
You're the one that has to go to work every day.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at. And I would definitely recommend something like that.
Right. What moment are you most proud of during your current stay here at SAU?
I think getting drum major was the proudest moment.
Were you surprised you were elected drum major?
Yeah, I was actually, because that was a long time ago that I was a senior, and I didn't do any kind of marching, conducting, and it's different, And so I was really scared when I auditioned, but I was really surprised that I got it.
Well, that was something I wanted to ask. I noticed there's two girls. Is one superior to the other?
Yeah. This is my second year at it, and the other drum major, this is her first year, and she's doing great. I mean, it's going along really good. But yeah, in the past, there has been, like a head drum major and a co-drum major thing. But basically, even if there is a title, it's mostly shared. It's not.
Because you still do the same thing.
Still do the same thing. So it's not necessarily, there might be a title on it, but you don't really, notice it.
Right. Do you think that book costs are fair?
No.
Why not?
Us college kids are poor.
Yeah,
we're really poor, and a lot of us don't have the money for, $150 on one book.
True.
So yeah, I think they're very unfair.
Well, I spent that $150 on a book here recently, and I'm only going to get probably $20 for that book. I would recommend you keep them.
Yeah, if it's in your major, if you have a book and you don't want to sell it back and it has to do with your major, keep it, because it could come in handy later on.
Right.
But I would sell anything back that you
Me too. When
want to use.
It's December time, it's Christmas time, I don't care what I get back for it. That's whatever they give me.
There you go.
Well, and see, I you talk to professors and things like that, and they still have their book. People are always going back and reading up on all that kind of things. And your text, of course, it's your textbook, so you might as well. If you know that's the field you're going into, and it's going to help you later on, or give you some advice into some different things, that would be great to keep them.
There are some professors that have you buy the book, but they never use the book, so it's sort of, if they're not going to use it, why buy it?
Yeah, I think that's really unfair. I don't think you should have the students buy it if you're really not going to use it. That's a waste of our money.
Okay.
So.
But I do recommend you wait until you actually go. Most students go and buy them before school starts. One of those things, I would wait.
Oh yes, I always wait. I always wait till like the next week, the first full week of school. That's when I go buy my books, because I want to know if I'm really going to need the book or not.
True.
I'm not going to go waste $100. So.
Now, you said you're from Caddo Gap, Arkansas.
Yes.
How does Caddo Gap differ from Magnolia?
It's really small.
I think Magnolia is pretty small as well.
Well, I think we only have like one gas station. I know we got a post office and maybe a gas station, but it's really small. There's maybe 100 people.
Oh, really?
And, I think there's like 14,000 or something in Magnolia. So, for me, it was a big town. It's not so big now.
Right.
Since I've been here for a while, but it was a big adjustment for me at first. So.
All right, if the world were a perfect place and you could wish for one thing, what would you wish for?
I think I would have to wish for my own wildlife reserve. I think that would be so cool to have all kinds of animals, I think that would be so
So
fun.
what would you name it?
I don't really know what I would name it. I don't really know, but that would be my wish, I think.
Well, we know you're leaving, and this is your last year with band, right?
I
You
don't
hope
know
so.
yet. Well, no, I don't hope so, because I really enjoy band a lot, and I think that if this is going to be my last semester or last year in band, I'm going to cry that last football game. I know I am, but I don't know. It might be my last might be my last year in it. So
Well, good luck
Thank
with
you.
everything you do.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm Misty Holley.
And I'm Charles Bostick.
The SAU Report is a production of broadcast journalism students in the Department of Theater and Mass Communication at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.